Hey, this little black book's kind of almost, I guess I can call it full. It's got a few empty pages in there. But not all my poetry has been going in here. So if I do write a poem that goes for Richard Del Connor's Sense of Justice, then I put it in the Sense of Justice one. And if it's something to go with the Five Souls, then I've been putting it in the Five Souls. And this one, Buddha Z, he's been focusing on the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism. I'm just kind of getting my act together. So what I'm going to have to do is, it's too confusing for me. Because I kind of, this book has a couple of Richard Del Connor's in it, like The Meaning of Life, you know, because I like that poem so much. But what we're going to have to do is, or what I'm going to have to do is, separate my life into, I'm just going to read from my published books. So my published books will define who I am. So if a poem's in one book, then that poem was written by that author. Then I know. Then I know who I am. Okay, so anyway. But I do feel like I guess I've kind of outgrown this notebook, the Buddha Z thing. I'm kind of like I'm not performing now. So I was just going to go into the Buddha Z thing and perform and do the Four Noble Truths and do a show on that. And I'm not going to do it. Change of plans here. So anyway, I feel like maybe I want to just kind of get through some of the poems in here. Some of them are already too aggressive for the way I feel. I've kind of moved on from some of the sentiments in here. You know, I mean, they're still worthy of addressing, but I don't want to address them. I've already addressed them. So for me, a lot of this book's already going backwards, and I've only written it in the last year. So life changes and moves forward kind of quickly. Well, I don't know. Let me get a couple of these whiner poems in here, I guess. I got a few kind of hostile ones, but I'm just not feeling it. I want to get into the new me and just kind of help people to be happier and not have to be so negative and critical. But anyway, here's Buddha Z was supposed to be the critical voice. This is the voice where I get to be kind of critical. I guess Richard Del Conner too. Buddha Gen's got to be polite. He's the Zen master. Okay, so here we go. Book return. My poetry makes you think. Better. Most people use poetry to point at a smell and call it stink. At Los Angeles poetry readings, I read for other poets for free, who read to us about their feelings. My five-soul theory may seem harsh, but I believe it's worse to be pursuing a mountain to climb in your mind while living in a lowly marsh, using what from marsh life you know to imagine the mountain life you will find. And that's really the story of my life, is people advising me from what little they know, which is totally wrong compared to at least. Then you share they share your ignorance with us from deep inside your not a poet soul that wants to be a daycare applauded for really not caring what you're sharing with us. Like I said, I'm not feeling hostile enough to do this poem. This is about basically daycare people being, immature kids who aren't even grown up or have any concept of life or philosophy, and they're raising our kids. And, yeah. So book return. It's about, who's raising our kids and why is everybody turning out the way they are? Well, it all makes sense. Just look at it. It's not a pretty picture. It's a really stupid picture, really. Well, let's see. Maybe I'm going to jump over to this other one. 9-page poem, 9 minutes. This is called Government Salt. Now, this one I feel more obligated to share. It's about the fact that the government's been covering up one of the best health aids there is in America, which is salt. And they've got people afraid of salt. Teenagers, people in elementary school. They got everybody afraid of salt. It's amazing. People are so dumb. I mean, people are so easily scared, frightened. Okay, government salt. I just killed the cold, shot it dead. It grew up and died inside my head. It took root in my nose, obvious by the wind that blows out my nostril without my control. Powered by sneezes and coughs from every upper hole. Don't get cute. That does include my ears. A slight nightly pain stirred my collared fears. Because like Navy SEALs in darkness, illness steals, seeking that vulnerable spot in your mucous membrane where the SEALs set up HQ right next to your brain. They'll secure a position quickly before the conquest know they're sickly. Then they'll move the HQ higher, up the sinuses to invade your eviction desire. You can't even crack down with Border Patrol, armed with vitamin C to reclaim nostril territory control. So the boogers start flowing, deceptive deceptive people say, my allergies are showing, as they choose to sneeze inside a theater to share their allergy and its creator. What is this tide of wet, ugly, sticky goo that flows to your upper lip to announce the flu? Is there nothing else that we can do besides being an alien incubator tool? As I gestate after germinate, the organisms that will hibernate, breeding like pilgrims who crossed the seas, breeding like pilgrims who crossed the seas, polluting my streams, veins, and arteries. But I've gone to war. I got a weapon in store. Me, yes, me, yeah, really me. Ever since that Teamster job in 1973, I was working with a federal agent. He gave me the runaround about his forced retirement. Perhaps I could take a clue from his confiscated gifts. Perhaps he was an Edward Snowden before whistleblowers could exist. This rejected graduate of American espionage shared with me the secrets that government helps big business dodge. As it turns out, the flu is big business. To kill such an enterprise, you'd have to be a communist. The bald eagle leadership has a wing that is sensitive to what Vicks VapoRub is saying. If the government solves our sickly ills, jobs will die as good health kills. Which is why the FBI and CIA, perhaps Homeland Security also, want to keep things this way. The Surgeon General knows eventually everyone's flu will go away. Even if you were to die, they'd just add you to the statistics of that day. But most people live. Note, I will now provide a spoiler alert. Here's the end of the story. Normally I win the battle quicker. But for 2 weeks, I didn't get sicker. I cornered the evasion in my upper nose and won the battle by controlling where it goes. In other words, I didn't let it out of my nose, but it was cornered for a couple of weeks. The Navy SEALs will land airborne, launched from faces, fraught forlorn, loudly launching their coughs and gags. We underestimate the reach of those Navy flags. Ramming those flagpoles into our skin, they hunker down. It's an invasion. They ram more flags into your flesh, that soft, moist hair bristle mesh, designed to filter out dust, but incapable of thwarting the viral lust. After the initial land grab, more territory they will inject and stab in. Now you notice an itch in your nose. In only 3 hours, achoo, a sneeze. Achoo, another sneeze. How strange, you think? As your nostril suddenly overflows, and then just like all of a sudden, sneezing. Well, here's what I reveal. Here's what my 50 years ago a mentor did steal, or did reveal. Salt, sodium chloride. Salt is what our government will continue to hide to protect the billion-dollar industry of influenza misery. Because all that Cold War money made goes to the chemical manufacturers of those poisons you so gladly paid. Hold it. People prefer poison to prevention? Gargling with salt water, the government will no longer mention. Nope. They buried the salty truth under fear. Americans think salt will make a heart attack appear. Oh, yeah, I've never seen one, ever. Of course, neither I or any single person that I know have ever seen a dead man and said, it was salt that made him go. No healthy person's ever got ill from salt. Among the thousands of humans I've known, how salt terminates, prevents, or cures a cold many, many times, I've proven and shown. In freedom's pride, we live within a land where people are daily paid to stand and live out their entire life, standing all day for their children, standing all day for their wife. For somewhere around 40 hours a week, we allow someone to determine when we are allowed to speak. People are trained to be comfortably detained. Satisfaction is someone heard you when you complained. I'm sorry, I kind of ran through that common man life. But if you'd like to live a little longer, if you'd like to be a little stronger, I recommend more salt. This advice you won't hear from your friends. Dosage is important, so success depends on living a healthy life. You can survive as a fool. I also recommend you choose your daily strife to be more than a gagged standing security tool. Got a big semi coming by. For now, I got some shade too. For now, understand your disease contraction. Increase your salt intake. Verify your disease counter-reaction. At least every hour, fight with your salted steak. That virus doesn't sleep. Your enemy is in constant action. So give that slimy viral snail a dose for a bubbly mucus saline reaction. Ew, gross. Actually, just some salty drips could sanitize your throat to lips, reducing their oral infiltration by air of those Navy SEALs in your sinus, flying painful red flags stuck in your tongue, converting your breath into spores, exhaled to share. Sort of gets all into aliens. I could go on. Let's cut to the chase. I snort extra salt until the invaders are gone. Someday, I will decide and declare that salty dose I add to my nasal spray, then reclose it. My friend had the same cold. He took days off work with a sore throat. With his heart condition, his doctor cautioned, "With salt, beware, as the government told." I got over it quicker. He got much sicker. So once again, I've proven that with additional salt, I'm healthier. And without bringing cough medicine, and without buying cough medicine, I'm a little wealthier. I just got an update again. Who's winning and who's losing? Sheesh, my sickly friend just canceled. He said he got better, but stopped snorting salt too soon. The viral retreat's been reversed and rechanneled back to the painful sore throat and becoming an American booger balloon. Too bad my friend's doctor and heart called a halt to my friend being cured by government salt. Yeah, so the government doesn't want you to know it's good for you. It's too cheap. They don't want you to be healthy.